Welcome everybody. I'm Lizzie Brooks and this is gentle yoga. This is great for anxiety. This is great for morning practice, evening practice. I mean, really any time of the day, but those are kind of optimal. So from here, just come into your comfortable seat. Bring your hands together to your heart and find an intention, something that takes you out of your bubble a little bit and brings you a source of calm and centering. So it could be the word calm, it could be the word center, it could be anything that you want to bring that you don't feel like you have, or something that you have that you want to grow. So many options. And marinate with that word and allow it to travel on your breath. Inhale fully. Sigh it out. Inhale. And sigh it out, shake it out. Lower one set of the fingertips, reach up, and any amount over. That lower elbow could bend or not. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, take that over. And that's going to be your flow. Inhale and exhale. And you might want to kind of think about this as like, hey, I can go with the flow, right? This is what you're doing, just sort of like seaweed in the ocean, easy going with the flow. Fake it till you make it if that's not the case. And then we'll come all the way back up. Elbows draw back, open your heart. So you're not leading with the chin, you're finding that back bend in the upper thoracic spine, keeping the chin soft. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to the heart. Interlace your fingers and round your spine. Press the hands away from you. Open the area behind the shoulders, or actually underneath the shoulder blades. Wiggle that out a little bit. Inhale, fingers can stay interlaced or you can let that go at any time. Reach up. Exhale, float the arms down and soften the shoulders back. So for the next movement, you might want to have a blanket or a towel underneath you. It's not 100% necessary, but it just adds a little bit of padding. And then come onto that, feet off of that. Inner thighs are gently active because they kind of want to splay out. And we'll do a little spinal movement here from seated. Inhale, shoulder blades roll onto the back. The paraspinal muscles are awake. Exhale, round here. Arms will straighten. And you might want to walk the feet a little closer in so you can really sling back and open the area behind the heart. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale, rounding back. One more time. Inhale and exhale. So moving the spine is so good for us. It's really, really good for our flexibility. Let's do one more time. For the health of the discs in between the bones of the spine. And a million other reasons. Inhale, reach up. And then from here, go ahead and come into a seated position, hands now to the knees, and we'll go a little bit more into the shoulders and the spinal movement. Imagine there's a beach ball here, and you want to just tip that and roll that beach ball forward with your nose. Roll it forward, go into a little back bend, shoulders eventually roll back, heart lifts. Exhale, pick up the knees, round back. So really similar, rolling here and waving back. So you're like that ocean pattern with the wave of the spine. Exhale, rounding back. And then from here, come up to neutral. Cross your legs in the way you normally wouldn't to open that hip differently. So the way you had them crossed is probably your dominant way of crossing. So it's good to take a look at how we just, we're dominant with our right hand. The side of the brain is dominant. A nostril is dominant usually, which side we're breathing from, which foot we start walking with. It's good to look at that and change it up a little bit. And then find that invisible beach ball, give it a little roll, lift the heart, exhale, slinging back into the round. Twice more, inhale, reach, exhale, round. And then one more time here together, inhale, open the chest, exhale, round. Good, inhale, come on up to neutral. Shake that out. Keep your blanket and we'll now transition to the knees on that blanket. And from here, just begin to move your hips a little side to side. So we're getting a little lateral movement where we're kind of making a C shape on one lateral side and opening the other. And same thing, over to the other side. Now we're moving the spine, not so much front back plane, but side to side. And then we'll add a little twist. So make sure that you're not collapsed here, but you're drawing the organs toward the spine. Leave your right hand down, bring your left hand to the left waistline, and just open a little bit over to that side. If you feel like, hey, I can add more here, lift the arm up. This is meant to be gentle, and gentle doesn't always mean easy. So if this is too much, put the hand back on the waist. Inhale in the open twist. Exhale, lower back down. I'm going to switch sides so you can see from the other side. You stay where you are. And then from here, other side, not collapsed. And leaving the left hand down, right hand to the right waist. Inhale, exhale, little open twist. Doesn't have to be much to be impactful. Only lift that arm if that feels completely right for you, for the shoulder, for the spine, and you're still breathing. Neck can be wherever it feels comfortable. Inhale, exhale, come on back down. We're going to press back into a child's pose, hips back to the heels. Toes can be together, the knees can be together or separated, whatever feels right to you. We'll take 3 breaths here. If you want to stay there, stay there. If you feel like you want to add a downward dog into your practice, you can add a downward facing dog. So some people look at this as a posture you can put in a gentle practice, and some people who aren't used to it shouldn't maybe put this in yet, okay? So you can choose to stay in all fours or child's instead. And then if you went up there, lower back down. Good. From here, we'll rise up into a kneeling posture. So you'll be on the knees, and again, that blanket's still really useful. I would like you to grab a couple of blocks if you have them. If you don't, books or pieces of wood, whatever you have around the house will work. You don't need them if you have a lot of flexibility. And then from here, you're turned towards one short edge of your mat. You'll step your right foot forward. Tuck your back toes under if that feels right, or top of the foot if that feels better. From here, fingertips to the floor or the blocks. Root down into the earth, roll the shoulder blades back, lift the chest, opening the front of your left hip here, and breathing. If you want to go a little higher with the torso, hands can come to the right thigh or up, whatever you need. If you're feeling a little bit flustered and not grounded, put your hands down on something instead of up. Inhale here. Exhale, hands back down to the mat or the blocks. Shift your hips back, so move them back, and then transition the knee back next to the other knee. Good. We're going directly to the other side, stepping forward. Pelvis doesn't stay way back and it doesn't drop way in, but you're finding that sweet place in between where you feel like you're getting a stretch, but you're not collapsed and you're breathing there. Shoulder blades roll back. You're not slinging your head back here. And then again, if you need a little more height, you can add that. Or if you need a little more grounding, hands down on something. Inhale and exhale, lower back to the floor of the block. So the hands, shift your hips back and then transition the knee back. You can move your blocks to the sides at this point. And then from here, come back to your high kneeling. Good. So wake up the inner thighs a little bit. And I'm going to show you, it's almost imperceptible. I'm going to try to exaggerate. Watch, I'm going to roll over the skin of my patella, my kneecaps, and my inner thighs are going to get just a little closer together. So I'm going to do that to a small degree, and I want you to maybe find that so the inner thighs are firing. Then lift the pelvic floor, and then reach the arms out and all the way up. Allow the pelvis to come roughly over the knees here, and breathe. I'm going to tap on my screen because I think it's not as focused as it could be. All right. And then from here, bring your hands back to your heart. Deep breath in and let that go. Sit back either on your heels if that's something you're able to do, or a block or two. And if you're doing that, you'll separate the feet, put the block down, and sit on that. So if you have too much compression in the knees, by sitting back like this, add height under the pelvis to take that compression away. Good. Breathing here in hero pose or your modified hero pose with a block. Turn your palms facing up, one on top of the other. Thumbs touch, the tips of the thumbs touch, and place that in your lap. And just go for softness and breathing with patience. This is opening the front of the ankle and the shin bone. So a lot of times in yoga, we have a lot of compression at the ankle joint. This time we're opening the ankle joint. And then from here, reaching out to the sides, roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Now the hands don't have to be the same height as the shoulders. They could be a little lower if that feels better. And then reach your thumbs and plug them towards the wall behind you any amount. So that doesn't mean that you're gonna roll way into a back bend, but you're gonna keep the chest high and plug the thumbs back, working the back body, opening the heart and chest. Make space for your breathing. And then bring the hands back and all the way up and into Anjali Mudra, prayer pose at the heart. Deep breath in and sigh it out, shake it out. Good. Now take your fingertips, I'm gonna show you from the side, you'll come to all fours. Take your fingertips and turn them towards your knees. I like to tuck my toes on this one. And then see, you might already be feeling a stretch like I am on the underside of the forearm. So if you've been doing a lot of typing or work on the computer or on your cell phone, holding your cell phone and texting, this can get really tight. So it's really good to open this up. And then from here, if you need more, send the hips back a little bit and increase that stretch. Add your breath to the mix. And then come on up, turn the fingertips back forward. And we're gonna come all the way down onto our bellies. So I like to open my blanket and add some cushion like that. I just want, when you do put the blanket down, that your pelvis and your rib cage are on the same height. Sometimes we only fold part of the blanket and we tip our pelvis or our ribs forward. I want you to go ahead and find them on the same platform. And then from here, I'm gonna stay a little more lifted. I want, because of my microphone, but I want you to lay all the way down in a way that's comfortable to you. So the feet are the distance apart that feels right. You might create a pillow with your forearms. You can turn your forehead down or turn your head to one side or the other, but I want you to find a comfortable position. Breathe there. And just let yourself be held and supported by the earth. And then very gently, we're gonna rise up into a Sphinx pose. So make sure the elbows are not on the blanket unless the blanket's on your entire mat. So again, I want the hands and the elbows on the same level. And then fingers spread gently wide, elbows underneath the shoulders, and tops of the feet down. Now from here, pull the hands slightly back as you draw the chest forward. Shoulder blades move onto the back. And then instead of jutting the chin forward, just allow the back bend to be initiated from the floor up. And then once you have that, maybe take the gaze to the horizon. Breathing here. Working that back body gently and breathing generously. So we don't have to have a gigantic back bend for it to be beneficial and impactful. So the work that we do during the day, we don't do a lot of back bending. So makes sense that we wouldn't have to do something huge for it to be much different than we're used to. Inhale and exhale, come on down and go back into your resting pose. I'll be here waiting for you patiently. So find what you need, rest down. You might want to wiggle the hips a little side to side or bend the knees and sway the ankles and shins side to side while you're on your belly. And then very carefully, we're going to transition into a child's pose. So you can tuck the toes under and then shift back with the support of the belly into your child's pose. Knees together or separated, arms forward or back. Into our soft child's pose, breathing there. Slowly inhale, rising back up. Take that blanket and fold it, and maybe fold it again so that you have some height underneath your sitting bones. And let's come on back to the blanket and feeling for comfort there. Go to the breath, go to intention. What do you need? Why are you here? Why did you choose this yoga? What mindset and heart set can you bring to make this more than just movement, more than just exercise? Good. And then from here, we're going to allow the feet to come in front of us, like so. So if the blanket isn't high enough, you can go as high as you want. So I'm going to show you. You might even prefer this to go way up high here, okay? So a block or two, never on that highest height like this. Don't set it up like this and sit on that. That's not stable enough. All right. And then from wherever you are, gliding your hands down to the ankles, or maybe you're higher up depending on what your tension is in your body. And then inhale, exhale any amount of a little fold. Inhale, exhale any amount. So if you're higher up, and you're flexible, you might be able to come a lot forward with the torso. Maybe the arms, maybe soften here and go into more of a yin posture, which is more of you're letting go of the work of the muscles and kind of coming a little bit closer to the skeleton where the tendons and ligaments are, not overdoing it, just releasing, letting gravity root you. Breathing. And then very carefully rising back up. Good. And then we're going to move back into that hero pose. So if you're on high blocks and you want to stay there, you can transition there. You can lower down a level, or you can come back to sitting again, back on the heels. So whatever works for you. And then I'm going to show you from the side. Oh, also, if hero pose doesn't work at any height, choose a different seat. It's just totally fine with me and all the yoga people of the world. As if we have any clout. We don't have any say. You have the say. All right, so from here, you're going to take your palms down onto the legs. Reach your left arm forward. Reach it all the way up, back, and back to the thigh. Let's do that on the other side. Reach forward, up, back, and all the way to the thigh. All right, so continue here. And if you are looking for more of the stretch to come into the shoulder, you're going to keep your torso pointing more forward, and that will limit your range of shoulder motion. If you want to turn your torso to the side with you, this will be a little bit more of a turn and a slight twist as the shoulder comes up, back, and around. So you can choose either stabilizing the chest as it is and working that external reach back, or take it wide, okay, by letting the turn happen. Just lubricating those shoulder joints and keeping spaciousness in the chest. So once you've come back here, let's pause and breathe. Notice if you're over jutting the chin forward, soften that down. Breath is number one, everything else is secondary. When we're in our breath, it's really hard to do something or say something we regret, right? So we are more authentic. So go to that breath. And then little tiny cat-cows from this hero pose, rolling open, rounding down. Rolling open, hands will just glide the thighs as the heart lifts and glide back towards the knees as the spine rounds. And again, open the chest and exhale, round. Inhale, come all the way up, and we'll transition to the floor. If you want to use your blanket across your mat for some padding, you can do that. I don't need that right now. I'm just gonna move this stuff out of the way and I'm gonna scoot down and we'll meet here. So from here, hug the knees in and rock gently side to side. Elongate that back of the neck again as the back of the head meets the floor. And then from here, soles of the feet come down. Hug your right knee in and breathe here. You can stay here, or if it feels okay and you feel like the flexibility is available, you can extend that left leg, engaging gently the left ankle and drawing the right knee in. It might be here. Whatever is the tension of your hips today, you're going to listen to that, breathe around that, and make your choices around that. So you're pressing gently the leg in and towards the ascending colon, so where the colon goes up. That's really good to add pressure there, and really good for digestion and elimination. And then we'll hug the opposite knee in and go to the other side, either sole of the foot down or extension. And here we are when we hug this side in, we are pressing the descending colon. So going down, breathing here. Actively pressing that extended leg away as you draw the knee in towards you. And draw both knees in, and then both soles of the feet to the floor. Cross the right ankle to the top of the left knee, and this might be enough. This might be perfect stretch for you. Stay there if that's the case. If not, hug in, either interlacing underneath the thigh or in front of the knee. I'll show you that I'm putting my right hand through this little triangle in the middle and then wrapping, okay? Wrapping around. I'm not gonna actually wrap for you. You would never come back. And then rock a little side to side here. I tend to be a little better at teaching yoga than wrapping, just a bit. And opening that hip. And unwind there, soles of the feet down, and let's switch sides. So maybe crossing ankle to the top of the knee and hanging out. Maybe reaching through that triangle in the middle with the left hand and reaching around and interlacing behind or in front of the right knee. Maybe rocking side to side. So adding some movement within the postures can get you into some places you didn't know had tension. There's a reason to move around sometimes in the postures, and there's a reason to be, kind of still in postures. There's merit to both. Breathing here. Just opening those glutes. And then slowly unwind, soles of the feet down. So feet are about sitting bone distance, or let's go a little wider than sitting bone distance apart. Hands come alongside of the body. Lift your heart, move your shoulder blades underneath you. You can turn the palms in or even come to this kind of robot arms. And press into the feet and lift the pelvis just a little bit. Breathe here. So you can stay here in this little more active form of a modified bridge, or you can use one of your blocks on the lowest or second height underneath the sacrum. So not the tailbone, not the low back, but in between the two, resting here, or a little more active here, depending on what you need today, okay? You can go a little higher if the flexibility allows and it feels really good. If it doesn't feel good or you lose the breath, let's go back down to that halfway point. Inhale, and slowly remove the block if it was there. Exhale, come all the way back down, hug the knees back in, rock a little side to side. Good, you can go wide with the knees and open the groin. You can press one knee in and the other knee away. Just feel for what works. And then soles of the feet come down and then walk in front of us, extending and setting up for final relaxation pose, Shavasana. If you'd like to change anything here, add any props, sometimes rolling a blanket under the knees or adding a bolster there can be helpful. You can take your legs up the wall for Viparita Karani. And again, when we're in our breath, in that smooth breathing, slow inhale, slow exhale, not way up in the chest and feeling rapid, we're more apt to be calm, to be softening the nervous system and taking care of those rest and rejuvenate things that need to happen. So we need to be in that softness to repair the body. All right, so maybe if you don't have a word, or if you want to join me with a word, the word is repair. Repair or heal, and marinate with that word as you rest. You can even visualize that all the cells are rejuvenating, restoring, healing, repairing. Recognizing that you are whole, head to toe, no fragments, just one working being. And staying here as long as feels good to you. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If this served you, please share it with your friends and your loved ones, and like and subscribe. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and join me anytime here on my channel. And if you would like to add any suggestions, videos that you want, then go ahead and place those in the comments. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Namaste, everyone.